Spoken word 18. Avoid the anxious toil. Psalms 127 verse 2. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep. During my time at Tamale Teaching Hospital, I spent my mornings working at the hospital and most of my evenings at a community pharmacy where I worked part-time. For most of the evenings, because I was not comfortable eating the food sold around the pharmacy, I had to wait till I got home to cook. I would find myself starving, or in certain cases, sustaining myself on a drink and pastry till I got home and ate supper very late. This routine continued for months. At work, waiting till the next client comes, I decided to go through my online devotionals. When I read through one called Beyond Sunday, God used this verse of scripture to speak to me that evening. It is in vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep. Psalm 127 verse 2. I can say God is really concerned about every detail of our lives. I realized upon all the hard work and extra hours, I was still not eating well. Why was I working in the first place? The feeling was like I was working extra hard, but what was at the same standpoint? Nothing really had changed for me after waking up early, sleeping late, and working for extra hours. I was still eating the bread of sorrows. It was just anxious toil. I knew work and diligence are part of God's plan and a means for provision. However, I realized I had to make certain necessary changes. I was neglecting my body and health, which I was to properly steward. Inwardly, I was driven by the urge to end my financial lack and was desperate to succeed. This inner motivation and routine had to change. Pastor Wayne Kodiaro, pastor of New Hope Church, likens our motivation to the fuel in a car engine. Bad fuel can burn really well, then eventually destroy the engine. Similarly, a wrong motivation towards life and work can really drive us to do the things that are detrimental to our well-being. That was what was happening to me. The real cause of our worry and anxiety is closely connected to our attachment to the physical things of this life, lack of trust in God. Matthew chapter 6 verse 25 to 34. I thought back to the time in my university where what was driving me was a desire to just prove a point that I will not be a failure. So when something little went wrong with my academics, it was a big deal to me. But the good part was the Lord delivered me of it and changed my perspective and motive for schooling. My schooling was to prepare me for my future career in life. I knew this time this anxious toil has resurfaced in another form. The desperate desire to make it. Having recognized it, there was a need to change it. All the writing from today have improved the decision I make back then. That day at Hayat Pharmacy was a starting point. I was amazed how this little scripture could stir so much in me. I decided to do my work with joy, not anxiety. To see my work as a godly means to provide for my needs and serve people. I am not working because I am in lack and need money to survive on. I accept that my parents' work may not make me rich overnight, but I'll give myself adequate time and training to achieve the level of financial increase I desire. I will cultivate contentment and not sacrifice my health and my faith in God for material pursuits. I will live more simply. I will not force myself through debt to achieve or acquire things just to impress people. I will escape the social standard of working too much in order to spend too much to impress people. I refuse to be trapped in a life of hurry, fatigue, and distraction. I refuse a life pursuing accumulation of things. Credit to Professor Mike Zigarelli, whose articles Christianity 9 to 5 give further insight to my decision. These incidents motivated me recently to begin to write a booklet I titled Better Than Good. I saw that in our world, money is everything. If you don't have it, you don't matter. Money is seen now as a present gauge for how blessed the person is by God. So guess what is becoming the motivation behind almost everything we do, including ministry? Money. Many continue to sacrifice eternal callings, their health, family, children, and many other valuable relationships just to make more money. The church is also culpable in this matter. Our favoritism towards the wealthy tells it all. The Lord is calling out a people just like David, who will function by refusing the armor of Saul for their battle against Goliath. A people who would function effectively outside the world system, but will live fruitful and fulfilling lives. They will face life not with their bows, arrows, or spears, but in the name of the Lord. Check what is really driving all you are doing. It should be solid Deo Gloria, to the glory of God alone, not an anxious toil to achieve to impress people. As you go about your pursuit, keep the main thing as the main thing. The decision against the world system and way of thinking will not be easy, but let us press on together. Let us do that together. For reflection, what is the motivation behind your labor? What vital aspect of your life are you neglecting because of your labors? What necessary changes and adjustments do you have to make? Thank you and amen.